Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Texas Platinum. Thanks for joining us. We just have a few thoughts on the spring game, a little bit of an update. If everyone's wondering, I'm okay. It was very cold, but I survived. South Texas boy like me cannot handle a 55-degree wind chill. So, Matt, what'd you think?
Yeah, there was actually quite a few takeaways that we grabbed. Mainly, our defense looks good. They're still flying around, still hitting. It looks like we're still playing Georgia out there, just being the aggressor, running people down, not missing tackles, which is really good to see. I didn't see too many missed assignments. I mean, albeit they know kind of what the offense is going to do, but it was still really impressive to see all the new faces kind of just still living up to that culture of being the toughest team in the Big 12.
It's transferred over for sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's what our main concern was. We were kind of pessimistic about this defense recently, but this kind of helped give us some new hope, some new life for the season. So really good to see. Starting with the defensive line, really liked what I saw. Malcolm Roach looks like a beast. He's going to be an all Big 12 type player this year. He has a chance to improve his draft stock and maybe enter an early round if he has a good year next year. And then Taquan Graham on the edge also was making plays. A lot of pressure, applying a lot of pressure. And then on the interior, we had Keandre Coburn look really good. I'm really excited about him.
Got a lot of pressure up the middle for sure. Something I was kind of worried about myself.
Yeah, we kind of have a tradition recently of producing really good defensive tackles under Todd Orlando. First it was Poona Ford, even though it's Charlie's guy, but he still shined under Todd Orlando. And then Chris Nelson also had a big year last year, kind of the anchor of the defensive line, clogging the holes, stopping the run. And I think Keandre Coburn is going to step in and do that. Maybe be our best defensive tackle yet under Herman. He's got a lot of upside. Gerald Wilbon also looked good, though. I'm not sleeping on him. He's going to be a contributor here as a senior. So our defensive line looks good. We got players. I think Marquez Bimich was out there finally. He's healthy, which is good because he was really coming on last year as a sophomore. And it's good to see him back at full health because we're gonna need him next year on the defensive end. And then moving back to linebackers,
big question mark.
Yeah.
But I kind of like what I saw. We got a little nice play from Jeffrey McCulloch, interception on Sam Ehlinger. A lot of disruption, but I think we're filling the holes there slowly but surely.
Yeah, Shark definitely made it. He was probably the MVP of the game, in my opinion. He was making plays everywhere. He's really stepped up from what Herman said during the spring, kind of becoming the leader of this team, this defense, and it's showing. It's showing out there. He's making plays, and then also Deli Adeoye, the middle linebacker. He didn't do too bad. He looked solid out there. He kind of looked like he knew what he was doing. He filled the holes pretty decently. He brought a lot of toughness. Which is good. You need that even a linebacker. He needs to get better in coverage, but he's progressing pretty well, which is really encouraging because we don't have Anthony Wheeler or Gary Johnson anymore. Mm-hmm. So he's gonna have to step up, and DeGabriel Floyd's out now. So it's pretty much all him right now. So we're gonna go as far as he takes us. So, and then also Joseph Asai, the B-backer. I'm really high on him. He had a sack against Ehlinger. He's one of our best players on defense. I'm not worried about him at all. Behind him, though, Byron Vaughn's got in. He's a year two guy, but he's a project originally, but he's kind of progressing where we can play him now. He's going to probably play for us next year. We might have to move Osai inside if Deli can't get it done, and then that'll leave Byron Vaughn's at the B-backer. And I'm pretty confident in what I've seen out of him recently. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with our front seven right now. Yeah, our front seven's looking solid. We just gotta make sure that we have depth there. So all the people that we have behind them need to step up, and then perhaps get a grad transfer on the interior linebacker position. Just because injuries are gonna happen, especially in the front seven. So we gotta be ready for that. But overall, I'm happy with the front seven. And then moving back to the DBs, the secondary, I really like Jalen Green. He looks like
very aggressive, reading plays.
I was very excited about Anthony Cook. But with him being out, it's kind of like Jalen Green's become the new golden baby in the secondary, the new heir of DBU. He looks really good. He's super physical. He blew up Jordan Whittington on that screen pass, even though Brew McCoy missed his block. But sorry, we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, Jalen Green looks really good. He seems really cerebral, really smart, and he's good in coverage, and he's really physical. So he's got NFL upside if he can. Let's see if he can seize it, And then on the other side, Anthony Cook was out, like I was saying. So we had Deshaun Jameson out there, Kobe Boyce. He had a pick on Casey Thompson, but that was kind of just like a duck from the wind.
I think I hit or something. Or maybe it was the wind. I don't know, but it came out very awkwardly.
Yeah, he threw a Case McCoy throw. So yeah, so Kobe Boyce had a pick, so he's looking all right. And then Anthony Cook didn't play. So yeah, our DBs look good in terms of corners. I like to see Kenyatta Watson come in the summer and compete for a job too, because we're gonna need some bodies out there.
I mean, if the defense looked this good without Brandon Jones and Caden Stearns playing, I'm pretty positive that we're gonna have a strong defense this year.
Yeah, and then that's a good point. Whenever our two best players basically on defense show up, it's gonna be even more of a unit we're gonna have. And then Chris Brown looked really good, making plays, making tackles, as well as DeMar Van Overshown, who tried to murder Casey Thompson at the goal line. But that's just who he is, DeMar Van Overshown. If you watch his highlight film, he literally, the hits that he did to kids in high school should have been illegal. I've never seen someone hit kids that hard. He literally, brain damage.
Out for blood.
Yeah, so DeMar Van Overshown, he's a culture guy, He's Todd Orlando probably loves him, so he'll have a role in this defense, whether if it's as a linebacker, a nickel, a joker. Wherever we're going to put him, he needs to get on the field a little bit. I know we're stacked at safety, so we got to get him in the field somehow, and I'm sure Orlando will do that. But yeah, for anything else on the defense?
No, I'm just glad I put some of our concerns at ease.
Yeah.
I mean, linebacker's still going to be a little bit of a question mark because of depth, but I kind of like the guys we have backing up who we got right now for sure.
Yeah, we got some talent. We got talent upgrades in some spots. Jalen Green looks more talented than Chris Boyd. Although, actually, let me take that back. Chris Boyd was talented. Disregard what I just said. But boys Joseph Asai, Taquan Graham, they're finally getting their full run now, and they just Taquan Graham, in my opinion, is a major upgrade from Breckenhager. And we're replacing Omenahu is going to be tough, but we got boys that can get it done. I'm really pleased with what I saw Saturday. So hopefully that's kind of what we're going to see more going forward in the fall. I know it's just a spring game, running against a base offense, but looks good so far.
It looks, no complaints really. On the offense, I mean, it was a little shaky for the ones. We didn't really get to see a lot of downfield throws because of the wind and everything. But I really don't want to put any cause for concern for the offense in the spring game, because I mean we've returned a lot of guys on that side of the ball, so there's no question in my mind that they will be good come fall. It's just these guys haven't played a real down, and the closest thing to a real down would be spring game in months. So I'm not too worried about that. Sam looked good. But I was more intrigued by seeing our backup quarterback come in, Casey Thompson, and he really showed that he had a real pocket awareness around him. He evaded a lot of would-be tacklers and showed off his wheels a little bit. Shiftier than I thought he was. More of a runner than Sam for sure. So I could definitely see him coming in the future for, I don't know, whatever game maybe Sam gets hurt in. And he'll be able to hold the ship if he's in, and I really like that. We didn't get a lot of Keontae, but I mean that's probably want to save the workhorse's legs for fall. We saw some Jordan Whittington. Missed a few. He missed a pass or two? I think so.
He dropped a few passes.
Yeah, but I mean,
dropped a touchdown.
We're just trying to get him. We're trying to get him more reps because he's probably going to be a day one contributor, no doubt. We didn't get to see Colin Johnson, but we saw Malcolm Epps lined up, which is a beast of a man. I mean, he was supposed to be a tight end, right? Something like that.
Yeah, that's what he's recruited as.
And just a specimen.
Yeah, pretty much adding on to what he said. Casey Thompson looks good. Sam Ehlinger looked bad, but I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to say it. He looked bad. But Jordan Whittington looks good. He was able to get upfield and get yards. Even when there were not really that many holes there, the defensive line was kind of dominating our offensive line, which is concerning, but it's the spring game. He got loose on a few plays on the outside and showed off his athleticism and his balance. So, yeah, his versatility as well. On that wheel route he had, it was a great route. It was kind of covered, but Sam threw a perfect ball, and Whittington wasn't able to snag it even though it was like in his hands. But it's all good. That's what spring games were for. He's still like probably 18 years old, 17 years old. So we got time for him to progress, and he's gonna have a lot on his plate since he's so versatile. So he's kind of feeling everything out right now as a college football player. And then Malcolm Epps also looked good. He caught a nice bubble screen, I think, and took it 20, 25 yards, broke a few tackles. He's showing off a lot of speed, which is really impressive to see at 6'7", kind of like Jermaine Gresham at OU. So he's going to be a matchup nightmare. Him and Colin Johnson on the outside are going to terrorize children. And then on the interior slot, we saw Brew McCoy get his feet wet. He had, I think, 3 completions, didn't drop a ball. He had a nice little bubble screen that he turned into a nice positive, like 7-yard gain. And then he also had a nice snag that it was really well defended. And the DP got his hands between the ball and Brew. And Brew held onto it, fought him off, and just like out hustled him for the ball. So you'll love to see that. I think Brew's going to be a guy that we can rely on third down in the future. Just throw it up to Brew and let him go get it. Because I watched a lot of his games at Modern Day, and whenever it was third down, their quarterback would just kind of throw it up to Brew and they can let him go make a play. So I think he'd be a really reliable receiver with some game-breaking capability every now and then. And then also Devin Duvernay looked really good.
Nice catch up the middle.
Yeah. He could have been on that one play. It was a little slant route, and Deshaun Jameson comes in and lowers his shoulder into him, and he just bounces off him, cuts up field. Nice 20, 25-yard gain. Those are the type of plays that we need to have. We didn't have too many of those last year. So we need to be able to extend plays, like slants, turn them into touchdowns, even though I only went 20, 25 yards. But I like what I saw at our receiving core. I mean, that's probably our best position on the team, so it's kind of expected. But Alvonte Woodard looked good. He got his feet wet. What'd you think of Jared Wiley?
He's a project. He's a project for sure. He has the frame. He has the height. Dropped a lot of passes. On a lot of passes that were. I mean, they weren't really contested passes. They were they were like little like swing routes, little like 2-yard out routes. But I mean, we have Cade Brewer, so I don't expect him to be too much involved. But more of just a project. I like his size, and if he ever gets good at blocking, he'll definitely contribute some.
Yeah, definitely. We saw his nerves shown in the game. I mean, it's his first college football action, so naturally you're gonna have a little bit of butterflies, maybe thinking too much, not playing full 100%. So, but once Braden Liebrock comes onto campus in the summer, I think we'll probably see him as a more smooth, natural tight end. As we know, Jared Wiley played quarterback last year at Temple, so he's still learning that position. So it's gonna be a little while for him to really come into his own as a tight end. So yeah, Jared Wiley looks solid. The O-line, the main concern was our lack of depth. Rafidi Girmay was the backup center, and it was a dumpster fire. He was literally throwing it in there.
He just got moved to the position, so I'm not gonna dock him too many points. But yeah, definitely a little bit of work there. Like half the snaps he had were like rolling on the ground, and when they were snapped right, it took like a minute to get to Casey Thompson's hands. But I'm not gonna fault the young man too much. It's spring game. It's a new position. He'll learn.
Yeah, he's a talented guy, highly ranked guy out of high school, redshirt freshman now. We're kind of grooming him to be the center of the future after Shackelford goes on to the NFL or just graduates next year. So I kind of like that we're doing it now, getting the lumps out now. But I think if an actual game happens tomorrow and Shaq went down with the injury, I think we'd see Derek Kerstetter slide in at center opposed to Rafidi Girmay, But yeah, as far as the O-line, they were giving up some pressure to Sam and Casey, and they got to improve a little bit. It's not too concerning because I know what we got there, but maybe our defense is just that good. But
hopefully that's what
yeah.
That means. Hopefully that means we're just that legit on defense.
Oh, yeah, I would like to see our O-line give our quarterbacks a little bit more time and open up more holes in the running game. But like we said, the win is you're kind of expecting to run in the wind, so you can't take too much out of it. It's a spring game.
Yeah, exactly. But
we're sitting here overthinking everything.
Yeah, because we have no football for a whole summer.
Yeah.
So somehow we'll survive, and this is like the last. Like we're thankful enough just to see him on the field.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. It was a good atmosphere, really good weather. It was the first spring game that's been like cold in my entire life. Usually you get sunburnt and just like it's super hot, but we lucked out with some good weather. But then it got kind of too cold, so I don't really know. It was just it was a kind of different experience, but I think it was a good recruiting weekend. A lot of guys were on campus. The Prince Dorba, Princely, whatever his name is, Xavier Alford, Bijan Robinson. A lot of guys were in town. Chad Lindbergh. So I think it was a good weekend to make a positive impression.
Yeah.
In terms of the vibe of the atmosphere, really good crowd. Pretty loud. The Texas fight chant before kickoff was.
It was actually it was pretty.
I was like, if I would have closed my eyes, I would have said we're at a normal game against Tulsa. So I was kind of impressed with our turnout, and it's nice being the University of Texas where you can just schedule night games on your own network and do whatever you want. So
God bless.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, good spring game. I'm really proud of our defense. Hopefully we can keep up the progression.
Yeah.
I'll see some BJ Foster killing more men in the future. And anything else?
No, that's about it. Just that my concerns about the defense are pretty much gone, because I think we're gonna be all right, and that the offense will come around. I have no worry, because we return and we also add to the offense.
Yeah, we're not losing much at all.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna start that hype on Texas offense is gone or something. So
basically, we're going to the Natty next year.
That's what that means, honestly. That's exactly what that means.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Be sure to subscribe if you like Longhorn football or a Big 12 football fan or college football. We're trying to give y'all some good stuff to watch, good stuff to talk about, especially during the off season. It's slow, so hopefully we can give y'all some stuff to enjoy. Yeah. Is that it?
Oh, did you push it?
Longhorn Nation, we're back.